everybody. It's time again for the Mikey and Al podcast. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Al.
And I'm Nick.
And I'm Vince.
That's right.
Yes.
Vinnie DiMartino.
We have Vinnie DiMartino. Obviously, of OCC fame, there's been a lot of requests. You know, a lot of people have asked what's going on with the OCC crew. To, I would say, the ultimate extent, a lot of people want to find out what's going on with Vinnie DiMartino. So thank you for being with us, Vinnie. I mean, it's really cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. You know me, I'm the same guy since back then. Not an actor. You know, I work on stuff and I still do it to this day.
You know what? I mean, I think that's unique about you. But I think a couple of questions. First of all, a lot of people are asking, you know, your background. Now, did you grow up in Orange County?
You're Italian, right?
I am.
Or you grew up in Orange County?
Come on.
That's inspiring.
Well, I didn't know background, but
I know.
Born and raised in Orange County, grew up in Orange County?
My whole life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Woohoo. And grew up actually, I went to school with Paulie. Paulie used to hang out since we were little.
Okay.
He used to hang out when we were real young with my brother.
Yep.
My younger brother.
Yeah. Well, that actually already answers the question.
That's when the educational system was really poor still.
Is that what
non-Regents diplomas?
Yeah. Isn't it still?
Did you get a Regents?
No.
Neither did I.
Nope. I already knew what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Well, that was the question. I mean, a lot of people want to understand that. What made you, I mean, you know, what intrigued you into fabricating, bike building, whether it be, cars, be motorcycles? When did you know that, hey, you know what, this is what I like to do, this is what I want to do?
Right.
What brought you into that situation?
I guess just life. Since I was young, my father was the kind of guy who you didn't pay anybody to do anything you can do.
Gotcha.
So he just raised us all to fix everything ourselves.
Okay.
So, you know, I started riding dirt bikes when I was real young. I was 3. He owned a snowmobile shop, rode snowmobiles, and we wanted to ride. We had to fix our stuff.
Wow. Okay.
So, you know, and then, you know, as I got older, I got into quads and dirt bikes and 3-wheelers. Mm-hmm. And we were just always making stuff and fixing stuff. And, you know, I learned how to weld when I was probably now I'm not talking a professional welder, but to make it work, you know what I mean? I was probably only 9 or 10, you know.
Wow.
I had an old stick welder, you know, the old arc welders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's when Vin learned to penetrate.
Yeah.
Just
figure it out, you know.
Right.
And then, what?
So no formal training, nothing like that at all through the process flow.
No, I'm really good at being self-taught.
Okay,
I am. I'm a hands-on kind of guy, and even to this day, right now, I'm 50, and I work on newer cars. All that is all self-taught.
Gotcha.
You know, and just because I'm passionate about it. When you're passionate about something, you learn it. You know,
that's true.
And I like it. And even when I got into back in the Orange County Choppers days with the water jet. And then when I got out of there, I opened my own shop. I started doing CNC machining. Gotcha. And it was like literally bought the discs and just watched them and did it and watched and did it and screwed stuff up and made it and broke it. And, you know, and just figured it out. So
when you initially got started, I mean, you just mentioned you and Junior, you guys went to school together. Is that right?
We did. Yep.
Was that middle school, high school?
All the way through elementary school.
Okay.
Yeah. He was 2 years behind. 1 or 2 years. What year did your brother graduate?
A year late.
93 or 94?
I'll just put that out there.
Yeah.
Must have been a lie.
You're like getting no fucking clue, right? You're like, whatever.
I think I was late. 1 or 2 years ahead of him.
Okay. All right.
You want to hear a funny story, though? Me and Paulie got in a fight one time. Did you ever hear that story?
With each other?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Set the background. Set the story.
Okay,
What happened?
So I was in fifth grade.
Oh, 5th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
High school.
And he was a little bit of a bully.
Oh.
He was, well,
tell us the details.
To my younger brother. Yeah, he was picking on Joey.
Okay.
And Joey was afraid of him. Joey was probably 2 years younger than him.
Oh,
that's a big deal when you're
sweetheart too.
Yeah, so he's picking on him, and we got in a fight in the playground. He chipped my tooth. We got into a full fist fight.
Really?
Yeah, I got in trouble. And here's the kicker. It was really funny. We all got called to the office. And you remember in elementary school, they always had that paddle, like it was a threat. They never paddle you, but there was always a threat.
With the little holes in it and shit like that?
I got the rod.
Yeah. Mr. Morris.
So my brother Joey was still afraid of Paulie. So when they asked him, did he pick on you? He said no.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, I got thrown to the wolves.
And then you got your brother threw you to the wolves.
He did.
I went to Bishop Dunn right up the road here.
They sent Joey back to like first grade class sniveling or whatever, right?
Yeah, I got in trouble.
Court.
So you got okay. So I didn't. So I think that's awesome.
Sorry.
The viewers, the viewers get to know that. So you knew Junior from an early age.
Fuck you.
So it wasn't like a situation whereby you guys knew each other. You know, when you first got to Orange County Choppers, you sort of guys grew up together. And,
Oh yeah,
and
yep.
and
we did.
had
We
that
used to
kind of-
ride together all the time.
Okay.
I used to work on all their quads and stuff like that. So I mean, since I was even like 16, you know, everybody brought their stuff to me to get fixed.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
You know, it wasn't. There was no YouTube then.
Right.
You didn't go on YouTube to figure out how to fix something. You know?
No, you had nothing in that
No.
nature, right?
Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah.
You did. So if you didn't know how to do it,
You still had the string phones, right? It was like
we had
connect
and my
cord
girl-
phones.
with the
connect-
dial. With the yeah,
I think that's awesome.
yeah. It was cool.
So how, when was it? How did you guys come together?
Hold up, I'm getting a visual.
You're getting a visual?
Do you remember that? You remember like before the show was popular, you and Paul used to share hotel rooms.
Remember that?
Yeah, I walked
still got
by
a
their
picture of
hotel
that.
room one time, and it was like the chain
This was
keeping it fairly
in-
like open.
This was in
You could see
Cincinnati.
in there, Cincinnati.
It was Cincinnati.
Perfect town for this type of behavior.
I want to hear it.
Almost as good as Cleveland.
Walking by, almost as good.
Talk to us. Tell
That's-
us.
Home of the steamer.
Tell us.
No, and the two of them were just sitting there, rubbing each other's back hair.
I don't know.
Like not skin, but hair, just enough.
right.
Just
I
enough,
don't know
like
if
these
that was
small
the case.
circles, wax on, wax off.
But what was
More
funny
wax
is
off and wax.
me and Paulie we would share hotel rooms,
It would.
and we're both the type of guys. Like when I get home, I want to take my shirt off.
I'm with you.
I want to relax.
You
and
wanna
I just
relax?
Sleep in shorts.
Absolutely.
And Paulie would too. So we'd
Yeah.
be two freaking guys
Yeah.
with
Sitting
hairy
there in
chests.
boxer shorts on.
Okay.
Just boxer shorts and smoking cigarettes together.
And he'd literally walk in and be like, "What the fuck are you
What are
guys doing?"
You know, like I don't do this.
Mike, I want you to take your shirt off.
Maybe shorts, but even having your shirt off is kind of like
I feel like it was
just
more
whatever.
common.
I was comfortable. Listen,
Yeah.
I was always comfortable.
They're just
I'm
chilling.
It was
They're just chilling.
It was not a pretty sight for me.
So now, let
My
me-
brother
That's
and
probably
that
what it
van,
was.
You know, I
That's
kind of
probably
looked
what
up
it
to both of them
Well,
at the time.
For
And
you.
then I started looking down. Both disgusting.
Couldn't even see it.
No,
So where does this happen? Okay, so you guys were in Cincinnati, the bike show or something like that, or
Yeah.
just okay?
It was a
So
big bike expo. Remember
all
that?
right.
yeah.
So
That was a fun one. That was in February.
It was.
Right? So
Yeah,
it was like
it's
a really,
cold.
Cincinnati's pretty shitty
Yeah.
city.
okay.
Beautiful bridges,
Talk to us.
sooty statues,
Yeah,
lots of Kinko's copies there. For some reason.
Is this Ohio or?
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
There's
Nice
your-
city.
there's your-
We had a good time, and it's only 5 minutes from Kentucky.
That's your
Yep.
problem. Though.
Remember, you go right over that bridge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was, I think it's called Union Square or something like that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it's something like that, and it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Can we rewind a little bit about in terms of how you came into the OCC fold? I mean, what occurred there? Where was Senior? Were you there prior to the show popping off? And getting the Discovery deal?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
How did that occur?
I was aware when the show came out, so it was the jet bike was the first one ever. That was their pilot.
Okay.
And I watched the show. I heard it was going to come on, and I felt the same way you guys felt about it.
Mm-hmm.
How I was ready to see bike building.
Yeah.
They were fighting.
Yeah, that's
And
dirty
they
laundry.
were like traumatized when they
Okay.
saw that, because they were like, "Oh, you ruined us." But
wow.
people liked it.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I saw that, and then they got another one, the Cody Project. That was
a
the
good
second one.
It was a good episode. That was the
Yeah.
second one?
Oh, then people liked it, and then they were like, keep ruining us.
Yeah, and I wasn't involved still then.
Oh, no.
So right after that, their business started really picking up. So Paulie reached out to me, and I was working at an audio shop at the time, Clayton's, and he just
You
knew
weren't
I was a
happy
guy
there?
that could do anything I wanted to do. I could figure it out, and he knew I knew what I was doing. So he asked me to come over. You know?
in what progression was the show? Was the show just kicking off? Or was it already pretty much
No,
pretty
so
much in the
actually that was
forefront?
supposed to be the end of it. So it was supposed to be the
okay.
Cody project, and that was it that they knew of.
Okay.
So, but they had a good amount of bike builds coming in. So he wanted me there, and because I was very mechanically inclined.
Gotcha.
Plus, I knew somewhat about fabrication, but I pick up really quick.
Gotcha.
So then he started, teaching me with that stuff, and I think I was only there for a couple weeks, and then they got the call from Pilgrim Films
Pilgrim Films.
and said, "We want you guys for a 13-part series."
Wow. And then that
And
really
then
started.
that was the
kicking it
fire bike, not the fire bike,
Gotcha.
the Black Widow.
off. Black Widow.
That was the first bike I was ever involved in.
Isn't that Junior's pride and joy?
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Black Widow bike.
And then we went on from there.
Was that the conceptual idea with the Black Widow bike? Was that something that he just put on paper? Do you recall how
No,
that
so
worked?
what he did before they ever had TV, he built a Spider-Man bike for Jean-Claude.
Ben.
Oh,
Van
Jean-Claude
Damme.
Van Damme.
Guy got his
that
ass
would be
kicked
awesome.
by
Jean
Yeah,
Wycliffe.
Yeah.
Wycliffe Jean.
Yes, that's who it was.
Okay, I
Wycliffe
thought it was
was-
I worked at the shop for too many years. This is all PTSD.
That's who it was. So he really liked that Spider-Man bike, and it was
Gotcha.
not his.
Okay.
So he wanted to build something, obviously not the same, but something a little different, but with kind of that whole theme. And he came up with the Black Widow, and it was genius.
That's a beautiful motorcycle.
It is. I think, you've seen episodes about him always wanting to have that
Yeah.
bike back.
It's funny if I see any of them episodes of clips, man, I look so young.
Right.
I had hair covering back here.
Right.
Yeah, I watched a couple. My brother Dan started watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Yeah, like he and his family watch it.
I
It's
don't
like
even
a
have
novelty.
any copies of it.
It's on HBO Max
yeah,
now.
It's on
Is
Max.
Yeah.
It's just Max. Now.
I got
Or
my
Max,
kids have
sorry.
never watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't recommend they do.
No.
I got PTSD. I'm not kidding. I was like trembling in my seat. My brother Dan said, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I don't think the old man's pretty mean to the kid.
Oh,
you know?
all this information. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
This is stuff. I asked
Yeah.
the same.
Mikey didn't watch it when it was current, though.
Not at all.
I always had to
never.
watch when it came out because I was, I'd critique myself
Of course.
and everything that was going on. I wanted
yeah.
to see what was going on and how he looked.
Did you see it?
He never watched it.
Yeah, well, that's Mike. I mean, Mike, he didn't want,
Probably would've
I
helped to
understand
watch
that.
it,
I get
you
that.
know?
I get that. But let me ask you,
Would have went to rehab earlier. Right in there.
That's terrible.
Once
Oh,
the-
man, sorry.
no, dude, please go ahead, Mikey.
No, just the episode I watched. I didn't look good. I think it was pre.
Was it like
You looked
physical?
amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Was it a physical thing, or was it like you knew that you were high at that point when you were watching the episode?
Mixture of the two. Yeah, when
I-
you see someone who's fucked up, you're like, oh, they're having a bad day. When you know where you were at that particular time, you're like, oh,
Yeah. And
Before you-
puke.
you know what else, too? Just it was very real.
Yeah.
Not much of it was put on.
The fight,
I mean-
though. The fight was for sure, right?
No, no.
Oh wow.
Now, I mean, I don't know how it was later on if they tried to build it up, but whether the camera's there or not, they were fighting.
It didn't take much.
No.
Just a little push of the old boulder every now and
I
again.
gotta-
Well,
think, by a producer.
Yeah.
I got a question about that Black Widow bike because as I heard Paul tell it once, he built the bike and then they asked him to build it for the show, so he had to either disassemble it or reassemble a new.
Well, there was certain parts they had to rebuild that back fender.
The webs. And
Yeah, the
whatnot.
webs. He had two of them lying around.
I
Because
was
of that.
wondering.
There was certain parts. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But once the show started, when did you know, or could you see it a little different dynamic? Once the show started being very popular. I mean, did you come to occasions where people started to get, starting to notice you, and there's some
Yeah, you know what?
interaction there? and
It was
whatnot?
instant. It was. You know when it was? And I want to say I think it was. I don't know the show it was. It was. I do remember. It was New Orleans when Don drove the truck down there.
God bless.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. God
We
rest
were
his
down
soul.
in this. We were down in the Superdome,
Mhm.
and before that, we went to Cincinnati, and it was like, oh, cool. I've seen these bikes, and whatever. But nobody was really standing around coagulating that much.
Right.
But when we went to the Superdome, the show was probably a couple episodes in,
Oh, yeah. That
and it
went
was
nuts.
that was
Nuts,
instant,
really?
instant 2-hour wait for people to stand in line to see
Wow.
us, and it was crazy. Yeah, it got crazy fast.
So first autograph, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and
this is
reality
pretty
show
cool.
wasn't big then, so
Yeah.
it was all new. People were like, there wasn't much. What was out there at that time? Survivor, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I
the Osbournes.
The
I think
Osbournes, that's right.
I think
There weren't
OCC.
too many reality
There
shows.
wasn't.
You're
A
right.
handful.
No
And you had the
Kardashians.
other kind of reality shows, which are like the Real World.
The
and
Real
all that
World,
crap
Right.
where-
But there was nothing
right.
like what we were doing because we were building. Not only did you have the dynamics of the family, we had a real product that we were building. That
I
was
agree.
pretty amazing.
I agree. I think OCC can definitely claim sort of like the first part of the reality kind of content situation that grew.
The family drama ones, for sure.
Without a
Yeah.
doubt. So
The thing that amazed me the most was we didn't really have a certain demographic of people.
No.
It was everyone.
yeah.
It didn't matter if you, especially when it started going overseas,
Oh,
You had to
I
build
mean-
the families.
you had people from everywhere. It didn't matter if you were old, young, Asian. It didn't matter.
No.
It's just a housewife.
Really? Everybody.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was.
it really resonated with everybody for some reason.
I think it was the creation of the product and how you guys were able to fabricate the product and bring a build. I mean, my opinion from just Jason, doing his, I guess his cat drawings or whatnot, and then to the intricacies of
Yeah,
whatever
that was definitely later on.
or whatever. But
That was later on. What was the process before that with you and Paul?
Scratching our heads.
Yeah?
really,
Yeah,
Figuring
looking
it
at
out.
shit.
Have to build it from air. And then Paul hired Jason.
Yeah, because it's like you're doing R&D on the fly.
Yep.
Because you got to make a motorcycle that rides down the road.
yeah,
You know, so you have the basic geometry of everything that you do, but now you're putting all this stuff on it,
right.
and you got to make it work. We got to ride these bikes. You know.
How did
Yeah.
you feel about that? How did you feel about that when Jason comes in and the CAD start, the programs and the 3D models start taking over the...
Yeah, that was later on. I mean, that was kind of like by that time, it was like you were a robot. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you come in, you do the same thing. You got this much time to build a bike. Got to be done. He does this. You know,
Well,
Client needs this.
me and Rick were really tight. Me, Rick, and Cody.
Petco, right?
Yeah, and Cody. Yeah, we had the 3 lifts right there. We had to make
Right.
everything work. You know.
Okay.
You had Jason designing it, and you had Jim machining some parts. I was water jetting, and you had to make it all come together, and it had to freaking work.
right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. Okay, so
limited time.
Yeah.
how?
Which wasn't bullshit. Because
No, it
you have
wasn't.
so many builds stacked up on top
Yeah,
of each
especially,
other.
you have a schedule.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, when you're doing episodes, you're working with production companies. And
That
they
was
don't-
my question. The
Yeah.
production company. How does that interact with your mind when you're sitting there and you got cameras in your face, or you got people looking at the bike, that kind of a
Yeah.
thing? Is that just
you know what? No, you know
from
what?
a pressure standpoint?
we got
or
so
no?
close with the film crew,
Gotcha.
right? We were good friends with them.
Very much
It was
so.
literally like
Yeah.
it was Mikey over my shoulder sometimes. You know, it's
Yeah,
you know we were all friends. So
Very close.
Did they?
yeah, there wasn't like a different film crew each time. These guys would stay with you for years. Or something.
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
You know,
So you can be like, you know what? Listen,
yeah.
stop.
I'd be like,
I
hey
gotta.
Pat, get over here. Or Patty.
Or you can go, hey, listen, stop. I got to go take a shit and just.
Yeah, or whatever. Or even like we knew that like when we move out of frame, they got to see us move. So all right, we'll stop, let them reset.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So we kind of, we knew what to do after,
Did you
200 episodes.
did you
Yeah.
ever have to redo? Sorry, go ahead.
What's
Mike.
that?
I was just wondering, did you ever have to redo anything because it was cool or it was funny, and then they were like, redo that because we didn't get it?
Yeah, once in a while they'd be like, yeah, say that again, do that again.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
here,
they just don't
let me
catch it.
interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
Did you see your brother's been doing stuff on Instagram?
No.
No.
I have.
And it's great because he sent me a couple. So what he does is he watches an old video
Uh-huh.
and, he makes comments and laughs, but he's been doing all like the stupid stuff, the jousting, scooter jousting.
I saw that.
Oh,
I did
right.
see that.
Right. He did that. So then I texted him. I'm like, dude, you got to do the spitball one. And he's like, I already did it. So then he put that one out like a week later. Do you remember that one?
No.
So did you ever see the spitball?
I saw the jousting.
Spitball
I didn't
one
see.
where he's
Wait
putting
a
it
minute.
through the
when you-
window in the
some-
shop?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I
So
think I did see
let
that.
me set it up for you because like the room what he was welding in had his back towards a corner, right? And it was one-way glass that the film crew would sit in there, and the producer Steve Niggs or whoever it was would watch through there, and then that way he can guide his thing. Hey, you're going over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and it was glass,
Okay.
but Paulie. He was violent sometimes. Remember, he had that big air gun with the long tube. He'd stick like a freaking bolt in the end of that thing, shoot it, and that thing would go through the wall. And one day he did it at the film crew through that glass. It wasn't glass, it was Lexan or Plexi or whatever it was. And it was tinted. So when it went through, the tint ripped and just went back. So you never knew there was a hole there. So Paulie was out there welding one day. And I'm like, remember we did a bike for Wendy's.
Oh, yeah.
And we had humongous, they just sent us boxes of everything. And we had a box of straws.
Okay.
So we used to steal the straws and do spitballs at each other, you know? So one day he's out there welding and his back is towards a corner. It's a wall, you know?
Yeah.
And I go through there. I hit him in the back of the neck and he's
What is that?
working, he's welding.
He doesn't really.
I hit him again. He's like, and the film crew was in on it. I told him I was going to do it.
Great.
And he's like, how are things hitting? It's like a spitball coming at me right now.
Right,
from
right,
there.
yeah.
And he was freaking out. He's like, spitballs are coming from nowhere. He was
And just
freaking
popping
out. And I was laughing. So it was really.
Poking the straw through the foam.
Oh, he had no idea. No freaking idea.
I think one thing about the OCC that time frame is the fun that you guys had in terms. I mean, it was a clash of dynamics. I mean, it was the build, stress of the build, but it was also the fun that you guys created in that dynamic, which is, I mean, that you know, when you think about people watching the series, I think that culminates into something that I find unique. I mean, what do you think made OCC that unique entity that the fans are just
probably the family dynamic? I would say more than anything.
Yeah,
I would. I mean, people can relate the arguments between father and son,
right?
Button heads in family businesses.
Sure.
I worked with my dad since I was 9 years old. You know, and even he ended up, it was auto repair, and then he owned a golf course. And I eventually ended up quitting because I love my dad to death, but I couldn't be friendly and be father-son with my dad when I worked for him.
Sometimes you have that type A personality that comes at each other.
You just butt heads, and I was like,
Well,
I made
pretty
a decision.
mature decision.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm quitting and going on my own because I want to be friends with you. Because I love he was such a fun guy.
Well, let's talk about the dynamic between you two, because it was always you guys. When I was watching, you guys were always like just two peas in the pod. One of the things I was curious of, Vinny, prior to the whole Jason thing and whatnot.
Light that up?
Not at all.
When you guys were, let's say you guys were building a bike and Junior came into the, how did Junior start that process? How did you come into it? How did you guys determine, what was what? Because I think he relied a lot on, your input as well. So, that creative concept of how you guys built the bike, was it, was it something you guys just put on paper? Was it just something you put,
Yeah, no, Junior really never put anything on paper.
He didn't? Okay.
No. And most of the design, probably 90% of it was his.
Okay.
He's got that. Very creative.
He was good. I'll give it to him 100%.
Okay.
And his father had no tolerance for that.
Okay.
Because it's a process.
Right.
You don't just be like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and you do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I don't think your father could ever grasp that. You know what I mean?
No, because he comes from ironwork.
Yeah.
This, and this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He couldn't. And he used to get so mad. And I get it. Because I've done it myself. And sometimes it takes a couple hours of looking and thinking.
So was it the creative thing then? Sort of, Senior was, not that it wasn't the creative thing, but he was like, okay, we have a deadline, just get it done. Or it was like, we don't have time for the creative concept.
Well, they would just argue about it, but I think Junior would get his way.
Gotcha.
Right? Wouldn't you think?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess
They do.
so.
Your father was very argumentative about that stuff, but at the end, I think you can kind of get him to see the light.
Yeah.
Well, some of the best bikes
took a bunch of arguments, but
yeah. Or sometimes an argument ends with, "Can you come up with better
idea?" Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seriously, a lot of arguments kind of get thwarted.
Yeah, I can see that.
In that way. You look so fucking cool right now.
You do.
Yeah, man.
You do. You
The
do.
Godfather.
I know. I enjoy cigars more than I should.
I think that's awesome. Now, in terms of if you were going to list, let's say 3 of your favorite bike builds through the OCC area.
Well, that would under what criteria? Because of the bike or because of the experience? Or whatever,
you know what? That's a great question. To be honest with you,
Real quick, bikes.
I'll throw that back at you.
Just bikes?
Go with the top. What do you say? Top 3 or the top?
Top 3 bikes. But you know what? He did say
I
something.
can give you I can give you also because of the experience too. But
The experience probably
the
be
top
better.
3, I mean,
Yeah, for sure the
the
experience.
fire bike's got to be one of the best,
Oh, that's
both
cool.
experience and the bike itself. You know,
Okay.
just because it meant so much.
Right.
The Black Widow, of course, it was just the first. It was new. You know, it was amazing.
Right.
And it's all going to be the earlier bikes.
Yeah.
You know, Mikey Vinnie.
That was a good bike. That was a good episode, actually.
That was probably
fun.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
so much fun.
And that was a pretty good looking bike.
It was a great bike.
It
I
had a
loved
nice
it.
shifter.
I did.
Suicide shifter. was
I have
really
that
nice.
shifter at my shop.
You do?
Oh,
Yeah, they took that bike apart and turned it into a regular bike and sold it.
You did.
wow.
Yeah, and Christian, I think it was Christian, brought it over to the shop and they're like, "Yo, they took that suicide shift off. You want it?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's hanging at my shop.
That's
Really?
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
See, we have something.
we do.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
still
do.
have
There's
to?
still-
Remember when we were making that wrap for the
we have something together that exists.
I know.
So on eBay.
that
Because they
wrap that we
took it all
made
from
over
us.
the oil tank too that said Mikey and Vinny on it.
Yeah.
The first one,
Oh, that fucked up in
when
the water jet,
Yeah,
right?
the water jet kind of keyholed it a little bit, and I
coming
took it
back.
off. I got that at my shop too.
Oh, that's
Really?
cool.
Yeah, because sometimes you're making 4 or 5 of these parts before they come out the way.
Really?
Like I said, you're engineering on the fly, you know?
Right.
Oh.
Well, you two always had. I mean, the dynamic between you two was always, prevalent. I mean, you could see that. How was that? Just off the bat? I mean, that connection was there. Was it?
just
you
love.
guys dealing with
It's love,
It
baby.
is love.
I think that's awesome.
It is.
I think that's awesome.
Mutual respect.
You know,
Just to go back though,
Love.
real quick though, because I don't want to lose this thought.
sure.
As far as like experience wise on the bikes, I think the Comanche's got to be my favorite. Do you remember that
Wow.
one?
That war
Yeah, the
helicopter,
helicopter
one.
that goes
Yeah.
backwards, right?
Yeah, but that was also though the stress. Do you remember when the motor went in the trailer and I had to
Yes.
You
work
had to
on
stop. That's right.
it? Yeah,
That's
and
right.
that was just such a stressful,
right.
amazing outcome. And that's when we were in Club Kryptonite.
Oh,
The first experience there, that was.
Yeah, there was a helicopter, right? Or was
We
was
came in
that
on a helicopter for the unveil too.
We
That's
did,
right.
but a
Did you-
separate helicopter,
Yeah.
not a Comanche.
No, no.
Or no, was
I
it
wish.
the...
That's
Oh.
that's not the one where you dropped it. You fake dropped the bike, right? That's a different one entirely. Where you brought in a helicopter and you were supposed to let go of the claw, but you fake dropped the claw to give your father and brother a heart attack.
I don't know that one.
Shit.
I don't know what you.
No, that was that. I don't. You know, I'll tell you what. The last bikes though, I don't know. They just don't mean that much.
No.
The last couple of years,
Oh, no.
they had no heart.
The Yankees one
No,
was
the
cool.
early ones were fun.
They did.
Yeah, it became too corporate,
It did.
I guess,
It did.
right?
It came to just.
Funny.
It was just cookie cutter. Boom. Do this. Do that. Do this. They
I
were
could
nice
see
bikes. We
that.
put a lot into them.
I could see
But they
that.
just didn't mean that much.
I
It
could
was
see
big
that.
companies just dying to give them money to build something, and they were paying a lot of money basically for a commercial, and they get a bike to go with it.
Gotcha. So, okay. Now I know you traveled, quite a bit with OCC, and if you can give us a little insight as to what were some of your favorite events? I mean, was it Sturgis? Was it Laconia? I mean, because I know Mikey, was along for the ride, but what were some of the fond memories that you can
Sturgis.
remember? Sturgis?
We always had so much fun. We always brought our scooters everywhere we went.
Okay.
And it was funny. We had all these bikes, and we would just ride scooters everywhere.
Remember we were getting blunted in the back of the truck on the way back from Mount Rushmore?
Remember that? And my father was sitting there.
next to his father.
What happened? Tell me. Come on.
We were smoking a blunt in the back of the truck. We were laying down, and he and his father were following us. And we came to a stop sign, and Vin's like, "Holy shit, it smells like weed."
Oh, no.
Dad was like, "You smell that? You smell that? Great outdoors. Oh, I love it. Fucking shit. I love it like a set of tits."
Oh, that's great.
His father loved
He loved life.
Loved everybody.
He did.
Oh man,
He did. And everybody loved him.
Everybody.
So Sturgis?
Lit up a room.
Yeah.
Well,
Sturgis,
shout out
though,
to
the
your father.
riding was the best. If you really like to ride, Daytona's the worst place to ride.
Okay.
It is. If you want to go there
That's
for Main
flat.
Street,
Old people are going to run a light and kill you.
yeah. If you want to really ride, there's no place like Sturgis. I mean, you can go to Devil's Tower, you go to Wyoming, and you go through Spearfish Canyon and all them roads, and it's amazing.
Wow. All right.
Remember that cutoff road, the dirt road?
Glencoe Campground.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We'd take that with the scooter every day.
They started charging admission
I
for
know,
people to drive
go through there because it was kind of a cutoff to get through Sturgis.
Yeah. And it was a freak show.
Remember the one time we went
There'd
down
be people naked and everything,
I
like
know.
disgusting people.
how-
people
it was like
naked,
Woodstock.
stomping around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went down there the one time. Do you remember? We went off the road and we parked in a trail and we smoked.
Huh?
And the park ranger came down. Do you remember that?
No.
And he was trying to like interrogate us.
You got your boys
Really?
smelling that?
Yeah,
Were we
weed
taking
wasn't
him
that liberal
seriously?
then. Yeah.
Weed was not liberal. I was going to say
Yeah.
this is back in the day when it's not like what it
was.
is
Like,
today.
You know, you get in
yeah.
trouble for doing that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Out
exactly.
west, yeah, Midwest.
Oh,
There's a lot
yeah.
of
You probably get
squares.
slung.
So
Yeah, they'll be. Yeah,
boys know
they'll
what
beat
I
you to
smell in
death.
the air.
what was the response? So what happened there? So he was like, he gave
No,
you a
nothing
pass
really
or what?
happened, yeah. Yeah.
So when you guys are going to these events, I mean, obviously OCC is probably at its height
Peak, right?
to a certain degree. I mean, when you're walking into these events, is it just a mob scene or?
It was. You know what was the biggest mob scene ever?
Brazil.
Was Carlisle, PA.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
My
How could I
my
forget?
aunt and uncle. That's the War College. I've gone to Carlisle so many
So
times.
if you ever went
yeah.
to one of the Carlisle car shows,
Oh, yeah.
which are probably arguably one of the biggest in the country,
In the country, yeah, definitely. I
and
think so.
we said it wasn't a bike show, it was the car show, and we had a booth there.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you what, they escorted us in cop cars. Do you remember that?
Really?
It was a
They actually
mob
escorted
scene.
me out in one.
Yes, that's what that was.
This
That was
back
an
during the
escort.
drinking days or
He
something
didn't
like that.
participate in it that much, but there was a local racetrack there with go-karts.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you remember that? I don't know
Yes.
if and
I remember you guys having a ton of fun. Like you kept going out there
going out. The guy was like, he was a fan, so he was just like ride all day.
all day.
And so me and Cody, we literally rode all day.
Yeah, like they had soot. You know, like they looked like
we
coal miners at the end
we
of
looked
the
like
day.
raccoons. We had
Goggle
circles
rings.
around
Yeah.
our eyes.
There's nothing- I think that's awesome.
So they got, yeah.
But I'm going to
that's
say
one of those
Carlisle. That was a great show, and it was just probably the most where we needed security.
Wow.
Do you remember when we had to go do something? Your father and your brother ditched out on a bike giveaway drawing raffle thing on stage of a concert in Daytona.
things. Okay.
And the Birds brought us in, me, you, and Cody, and we had to get up on stage
Yeah.
and draw a raffle ticket to win something. And this was like a rock concert.
Okay.
I'm not kidding you. You're on stage. You could have staged over
Thousands of people in front of you.
thousands. That was so cool. We were running down, slapping hands. That was, I got to say, that was cool. They had to escort us through there too.
You know what?
I don't remember it, but
Yeah.
I'm going to fill in a memory. Banks there.
There's a little fringe benefits. Well, you're
That is
probably.
awesome.
I mean, that was
was
back
Don't ask
in
me
when
to
you were.
remember dates and names, but I can remember almost every show and the stuff we did.
Give me the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to have a talk. I only remember half of them.
Mike.
Now, did you?
There's some-
There's
more
some
and more.
stuff I would never say on this microphone.
Of course
Hey,
not.
Mike.
I
Mike,
gotta
like,
keep
I
that,
remember
especially
them.
connected to Carlisle.
Mike.
You remember?
Yeah.
You freaking remember?
Oh yeah. I started getting a little hot blood.
You thought I was going to open my mouth on that one a little bit.
We asked Vin what his top three were, but what are your top three that your top three memories from the show, bike wise?
Oh,
You know what else too? I'm sorry to interrupt you because I'm sure this pertains to him too. But the scooter builds
Scooter builds, absolutely.
going up to Mass.
Yep. Yeah, we went up
built
to
them scooters.
Salem,
That
right?
probably almost takes the cake for the top for me. I kind of spaced out on that one.
Yeah, they.
What do you mean by
What
that?
is it? They wouldn't let us buy the scooters.
No, we bought the scooters. So we went down to Queens. You remember that? He gave us a deal
Yeah.
on them scooters. We paid for them, brought them in, started working on them for the show, and they're like, they're not your scooters.
What do you mean they're
Remember
not?
Yeah.
They're like, nope, you do not own those scooters. And we're like, we paid for them. They gave us a check for the money. Well, like, I don't want the check. I want the scooter. gave us a check for. They would not let us own them scooters. You know, they sold them scooters for $500.
I know, to like employees.
Yeah,
Was
employees.
was it because the name of the scooter? I mean, what was the thought process there?
I just don't. They didn't want you having anything to do with that show.
Oh, gotcha.
They didn't want you owning property of that show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which I guess in theory could be used for promotion, you know, like the scooters, but the scooters weren't out of the 50 bikes. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Can you give us a few
Well, wait, no.
Mike,
hold on. What about Mike's favorite?
Oh, my favorite bikes.
His favorite moments. Well, however you want to
favorite
take
moments.
that. However you want to take that. You know?
Mike's not a big bike guy.
No.
You got to like the Mikey bike.
Favorite moments were really meeting famous people.
Yeah.
Right?
All
Will
right.
Smith.
Nick Cage.
Bill Murray.
Nick Cage. Yeah.
And
Bill
Alec
Murray.
Baldwin. Bill Murray. I didn't get to meet Bill Murray.
You didn't?
No, we were in.
You were gone?
Did you
Or
meet him?
left? Yeah.
No, that's right. Where was I? I was not there for it.
You were getting married.
No, but we were in Australia, I thought.
No.
Wait a minute. So you were in the Australia show because we talked about that
Yeah,
the Russell Crowe episode,
Yeah.
whatnot. You in that in
Yeah,
that
me and him spent a good amount of time in Australia.
How long
That's
were you
cool.
there? 2 weeks?
3 weeks. You were there 3 weeks, I think, and I was there. You were there a week without me.
Yeah.
I flew in because I was working on a bike. I flew in, and then everybody else flew home except for me and you.
We got to go see all of Australia.
We did. Cooper Petey.
Oh, he's talked about it.
Oh,
I mean, you guys.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
it's amazing.
yeah.
I mean, you should
Definitely one of my
definitely
favorite
throw in.
places,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
In the
I
world
think that's
ever.
awesome.
Yeah. And the Australian people were probably our biggest fans ever. To this day, I still get.
And the most charming.
So charming.
Right? So
Yeah.
sweet, so charming.
You
The
remember what they used to
accent,
say?
who-
Like, people say they liked me. They would say I was a legend.
Yep.
Remember,
And-
Vinnie,
and-
you're a legend.
and a champion.
A champion.
Yeah, you're a champion.
I think that's
You're a
awesome.
champion.
I was like,
Champion.
You're like,
You're a
wow.
champion.
I started
Nobody's
singing Queen.
So in terms of overseas, now you probably okay. So with Australia, were there other areas you went to? I mean,
I never went anywhere else with the show.
okay,
They
all
went.
right.
You went to South America, right?
Yeah.
Brazil,
That was
and you went to England.
Yeah, we've been. He's definitely given us his insight in that. And that was. I mean that. What he's been able to do is phenomenal. It seems like the show gave a lot of opportunity to to be seen and to be heard, and I think that's awesome because I think you guys deserve it. I mean, you guys just provided so much entertainment for a lot of people for
Yeah,
so many years,
for sure.
Oh, wonderful.
and I think that's great. Give us a couple of OCC. I mean, give us some Mikey inside stories.
Yeah,
Give
what
us,
we got, man? Tell me one.
I can tell you about the
I mean, I got a whole
basement.
memory bank of full of them that I will not talk.
You
about.
got a
Me
TV
and Mike will
show.
talk about that.
Give us one or two that
Me
you
and Mike
could,
will talk about that in person.
give us one or two that you because I can definitely remember, and I don't mind saying this. Remember, I mean,
Seagrave and Orange.
Sea Graven
Like
Orange.
Sea Breeze.
The code. The code we used back in the day.
All right.
Was it?
It was actually a corner street where we used to stay every time we went to Daytona. Remember?
Yeah, we stayed in a compound,
compound.
in the hood too,
Yeah.
right? It was like bad.
Yeah, if you got out of there, yeah,
You didn't leave there at night without like
What are you guys staying in the hood though? I mean, for
Let me
what?
tell you what.
That's what could be afforded.
We flew with the luggage when we
Yeah, we had the ass. We sat in the ass of the jet, and
until I worked
not
with
to
Junior.
complain.
Mike Teutul,
Well,
one of
you
the
know, my
primary
father, not to villainize my father and brother.
No, do it.
But their girlfriends always flew first class.
Wow.
You know, so that started bringing a little resentment because he and I are crammed into the back. Seriously, someone give us an aisle seat.
Did they fly
Yeah,
coach?
yeah,
You're
so-
over next to that lady, huh?
So you guys are sitting in the ass back of the seat, and the girls are
Ass of
basically
the jet, man.
they're sitting there having some wines for a minute or two.
Oh yeah,
Or- no,
they're just sitting there like
I just
sneering at
remembered
each
one.
other,
No,
thinking about
that's
who's
luxury compared to this one. Do you remember when we had to fly out to? I'm not going to say it, but I was going to say the armpit. Remember when we went to West Virginia?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
In that little tiny plane, you were freaking out. You almost didn't want to go. When I say
That
one
was
of them
the first
planes,
time
you
I
got to go
flown
step
one.
up on the wing to get in. It holds 4 people.
Yeah.
And
wow.
we
And
flew
the
out to
propellers.
West Virginia in this
Right.
thing.
That's the best type of
remember
I
plane.
that.
think your father and your brother flew out there in a private jet.
I think so.
Then those
Yeah,
are
we were on like
we flew out to this
you could tell
place.
it's firing on
Listen,
like one
this
cylinder.
place, I mean, these guys were great out there.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with these guys.
They're drinking moonshine and Sam's Club.
What?
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
No, not only
And
are
then
they
they were
drinking
flying.
moonshine, and yeah, then they get like we'd get on dirt bikes or something. They'd get in their planes.
no
And
way.
y'all-
Yeah, Red
all
Bear and the whole
moonshine
deal. Leather
fucking
cap,
way.
filled with moonshine.
goggles, scarf. Yeah, there was like a
running-
600-pound guy, man. He like squeezed into the Red Baron cockpit. He's like, "Woo,
It was
away
a
we go,
biplane.
man."
Were you guys running drugs? What-
That's great.
Let me tell you what.
Maybe.
That's good.
He was
shit.
he was shitting his pants.
That was short-lived, though. Did a little time. I had to roll on some people, actually, so I didn't.
You know those 1 or 2 the 1 or 2 prop planes. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me tell you what. He was shitting his pants.
I was.
I'd shit my pants too. I
used
can't
to
be
ride
one
out
of
It
of
was
those.
not a smooth ride either.
Right.
Like you're not above the clouds. You're going through these clouds, and every time you're going through them, it's like
Well, with a half a bottle of moonshine
Where
in
was
your
that?
teeth, probably.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
yeah. And
That's
he's just
camera
thinking
guy.
of Leonard Skinner the whole time.
That's what I've learned.
Oh, no, what is it?
No.
Oh, just crashing. Yeah.
In Carlisle, PA, that's the type of plane that I've flown.
That's
where I've learned how to
incredible.
fly with my
That's
aunt.
incredible.
Yeah, I don't mind going up for a ride in one, but we flew to West Virginia in
Yeah,
one
that's a lot. That's a
for
lot.
hours. It was like a 4-hour flight.
Hey, Vin, do you have any stories? Because Mike was a big advocate that you're going to remember a lot of stories that he won't. Do you have any non-embarrassing things that he probably won't remember?
Or super embarrassing.
What is?
More embarrassing,
Yeah,
but
super
there's
we need
nothing
embarrassing.
incriminating.
I mean, the statute of limitations.
The one is, it's
We weren't
I
criminals.
think it was Carlisle with the military girl.
Oh, yes.
I'm not
No.
going to go into detail with it,
No.
but I just remember waking him up the next day. We had to go to do autographs, and I'm banging on his door, and he comes out, and his freaking hair is like, because that's when he wakes up. And I look in, and the headboard was broken off the wall.
Yes.
And you said something to me, and I don't know.
God
what it was.
bless her.
Calisthenics. She was a drill sergeant. She was, yeah. We didn't touch each other.
Oh,
No, I just remember something. I'm not going to repeat it. If he wants to, he can.
Oh, no, don't repeat it.
No, I won't. But I think you know what you said when you walked out of that door.
all right. We'll keep that to the mess. But
Yeah. But
Listen,
enough of the story. That's
enough.
pretty good, though, Vin. You definitely made me sweat there.
No, I wasn't going to get into it.
I've been with him.
Let me tell you what he did. If he wasn't there with me on the road, I don't think I would have made it. I would have stopped going on the road.
Well, ditto, man.
I gotta tell you.
we
You know, to do it,
we
people
do
who do it
Daytona.
alone. I don't know how they do it.
No.
It's got to be really lonely.
We do Daytona
or just
for
to knock it
14
along.
days. We'd be in Daytona, and it was junior and senior on Main Street, and me, him, and Cody at Iron Horse Saloon.
Mikey
Yep.
said that.
Right
you guys,
next to
you
the
guys,
burnout
okay.
pit.
Yeah,
All
right next to
right.
the burnout. But my father was there. Remember, he freaking loved it.
Okay.
He was my
loved it.
dad. My dad was a
Hotcakes.
biker. He just
Okay.
wanted to ride Harleys and go to all these places.
God bless him.
And he got to, and he loved it. And I'll tell you what, that was rough.
Yeah.
It was, and I don't think I would have made it without you.
Oh, thanks, Van. I don't think I would have made it either. They were like burnout pit, like talking about every 30 seconds.
No,
someone's
when I
blowing
tell
a
you,
tire
we'd
off,
be-
right next to us.
We'd be 8 hours doing autographs.
Yeah.
And having to deal. I mean, you're like, oh, big deal. You're sitting there. I would have rather been
I can't imagine.
shoveling shit.
Yeah.
Really?
And
At
it's
one
not,
point or another.
because of the people.
No.
It's because you can only deal with so
Good
much of
retraction.
that.
Yeah.
Of the same questions at you and shaking hands.
Oh, and,
Yeah.
and smiling.
And smiling.
Flash bulb in the eyes.
Yeah,
Real
and it's,
weird
yeah, and
after
it's
a
like
while.
if you have to do that for a couple hours, that's great. But it was 14 days
Yeah.
of 6 to 8 hour days every day.
I didn't realize. I didn't think you guys had
Every
it that.
day.
Yeah,
that
mandated.
hard. Really? 6 to 8 hours every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then I tell
But we
you,
got to know people very
Did you
well,
have
I
that?
have to
We
say,
did.
right? It was
you-
like
one
a
day,
real,
Mikey
like
couldn't-
intense study in
Mikey
in,
couldn't
in
deal.
people.
Yeah, you couldn't deal. Do you remember that time you couldn't deal anymore? You put a note on the thing that said, "I have laryngitis."
did you do that?
He didn't want to talk annianymore. He
Couldn't
was
talk
done.
anymore.
He was done.
Put the
Then I'll
effort.
tell you, 2
My dad
years.
and brother are doing pretty good. They're over at Main Street. If you want to go over there, they have posters for sale. We're sorry, we're out.
2
So-
years of that exact same thing at Paul's shop, and we're almost out of time here for this episode. We do want to talk about what's in front of you right now.
You want to skip over to that right now?
Yeah,
Or
we
you
wanna-
wait?
we gotta-
only got 2 minutes.
We got to know what's going on with. What are we looking at here?
Absolutely. Vinny, please tell us what's going on. I know you know, obviously you have the your coffee.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, I have my shop.
Yep.
I have my shop, which is DiMartino Motorsports, but I also have another company with my cousin, DiMartino Industries, which I have my coffee here.
D-Max?
D-Max, yep. So I'm a coffee connoisseur. Love coffee.
D-Max coffee.
So I said, if I'm going to drink coffee every day, let me come up with my own coffee. So I got a hold of a company, and you kind of mix some stuff up and figure out what you like, and they package it for you and everything. And so we do coffee, we do apparel, stuff like that.
That's very cool.
It is. We were going to do giveaways.
What kind of apparel?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very ill prepared because I should have been wearing my apparel, but I literally came from my shop.
You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back.
This is more personal.
Yeah.
Gotta make the money.
Yeah. But we do hats, shirts, stuff like that, stupid keychains, stupid stuff like that. But it's cool and we like it. We I don't have a ton of time to do that stuff, so it's kind of, I'm not gonna say on the back burner.
You're busy.
Yeah, we're
what
busy
time do you
shop.
go in?
I go in at 6 and I leave there at 5.
My Lord.
Yeah, I've gone in there just to bullshit with him at different times of the day.
Oh, some days and I can't.
He can't.
I texted him. I
just kind of like talk to the kids who are working there.
Yeah, we have a busy shop, 4 mechanics and a 3-bay shop, and people are coming in, and I got to deal with people and.
But this is more. This is. I mean, sort of. It's more of a passion project. It's
yes,
more
100%.
I think that's awesome.
Can we get an at? Can we get a social media link for?
Yeah. So I do a lot of coffee videos on my my TikTok.
All right. What is that? Is it at DiMartino Industries?
We'll put it.
Yeah, it's at DiMartino Industries.
We'll put it on the
Exactly what it is. And our Instagram's the same thing.
We'll flash it like one of those winning buzzers on the screen from a Japanese
I'm
game
really.
show.
I don't really keep up. I should really have somebody to handle that stuff for me, but I don't. So I'm not on it a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm busy.
You should have a slogan for this stuff.
Almost like
what is it? D-Max Coffee. Grow your penis.
To D-Max. To D-Max size.
Yeah, you want to last longer.
Get harder. Get stronger.
That is the show in
D-Max Coffee.
D-Max, that's the TV show in Germany where the show's on, D-Max.
Yep. You know what I really like is the flame with the honeycomb.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Kenny did all that stuff for us.
Really?
Kenny Marshall?
Yeah, it's hot shit.
Yeah. They do the packaging. You got to send them the artwork.
Okay.
Yeah. Kenny's good.
Yeah.
He did all of our logo. I mean, we worked with him, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And we have our website. It's, www.dimartinoindustries.com.
All right.
So, I love having my own. And you know what's great too?
What?
That's the 87, which is more like a coffee shop, donut shop.
The regular cup of Joe.
Yep. And then I have the 110, which is a stronger coffee, which I like.
Bang, bang.
Yeah.
So,
and my daughter is a real Vanessa in college. She's a coffee connoisseur.
She wakes up to the espresso.
Yeah, she loves it. She's like, please bring me some more of your coffee. Every time I go up to her, they're in college.
So are these beans, these are created, I mean, do you have them made elsewhere and shipped to you?
They're made right down in Westchester.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
All right, cool.
It's all right from New York.
So there was a certain blend you had to go there and you had to sort of taste.
Well, what they
various
do, they
blends
send you
and
up
whatnot.
sample packs, and you kind of pick what you want.
Gotcha.
And do all your stuff.
Are these like single cups or double cups, or how does that work?
What do you mean?
When you get a sample of coffee, how did you decide?
No, they're little miniature packets like this big.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And you can grind them and blend them if you want, and and you let them know what you like, and then they package it for you and do it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's great.
How long did the process last? How many times did you reject their blend?
Yeah.
No, they sent me a bunch of them, and I just kind of figured out what I liked, and I'm like, this is what I want. Let's get the ball rolling. I didn't expect it to be that good because I was grinding them, and I didn't really, sometimes you grind it too little, it's not as good. You grind it too much,
it's weak.
Yeah,
it's chunky.
Right. So
there's not enough.
Yeah, so I didn't really know it was going to be as good as it was. And when we got it, I was like, this is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not like I'm just pushing it because it's my brand. It's good.
This is what you drink.
Yeah, that's what I drink every day.
Do we get to take these home as a sample?
Yours, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Like I said, I want to bring next time I come.
Yeah.
If you'll have me again,
absolutely.
I'll bring the 110, which is you're gonna like that one.
Without a doubt.
So does
we'll
that
make
mean
it here while you're here?
Does that mean
put it in the percolator?
Does that mean it's stronger? Or what does that mean?
I'll bring the
Yeah, it's more like a really rich Colombian, almost on the verge of an espresso.
I was going to say that espresso seemed to, because Mike and I travel to Germany a lot, so we've done the Germany thing, and the espresso is just, I mean,
The coffee in Germany.
in such a little, it just kicks your ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely can love the espresso thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the viewers were asking in terms of who you're in contact with, that kind of a thing. If we were to list them down the line, I know
Cody the most.
Cody the most. Okay.
Cody
All right.
Connolly.
Yep, Cody Connolly. Not only did I work with him after we left Orange County, we opened up a shop together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, from 07, till like 12, he worked with me.
Okay.
And then I kind of switched gears into cars.
Right.
But like me, we still, for a while, we were doing, I mean, you know how much I like to cook and eat.
Oh yeah.
So we were doing.
Al's a great cook too. Everything. I've never had a bad
Vin, we'll do
deal.
some. We'll do some on that level.
Ben's a
at
good
some
fucking
point.
cook. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
So for a while, we were doing like a theme night. Once a month, I'd go over Cody's house. I'd bring all the food, and we'd have friends and family over,
cool.
and we just cook.
No, that's
and
very
like
cool.
the first one was exotic meats, where our buddy Bob brought camel,
Really?
turtle.
Wow. Wow.
I
really?
brought duck, and not the duck's exotic, but it's not.
I mean,
as normal. What else did we do?
Is this an online purchase?
Just some human meat.
Glad
Like, how do you get,
Where do you get the meat?
Invite.
How do you
I don't
get
get that
turtle?
at the market. Yeah,
How do you get turtle?
How was the flavor?
Oh, online, yeah. There's a whole there's websites for
Okay.
that. I mean, you can get really exotic meat. that you're like, I don't know
Alligator,
if I want that.
crocodile, all that.
But go ahead. So
we would do that, and it was great. The next night was like fish night, where I made my own sushi bowls, and then we did from Adams, which is amazing.
Adam's great.
Yeah.
They're
Can't-
great.
can't
They
beat
have
that.
sushi grade tuna.
They have sushi grade tuna, and then I got the a big thing of sea bass and halibut.
Okay.
And I made them into little tiny chunks, and I crisp them up good, and it was awesome.
Okay,
Yeah, so we were doing that for a while. And
All
so
right.
yeah, I see Cody the most often out of anybody. Yeah, he's like family.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
He's family to
He's
me.
kind of like a nephew, younger brother to you.
He is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vin used to give Cody a hard time because he was being a little shit.
Well, that's that little.
I used
That's
to try
that
to
big.
stand up
I'll tell
for
you
him and be
what,
like,
It's that
hey,
big brother, little brother kind of
leave-
relationship.
leave him
I'll
yeah.
tell you what, that kid made me cry one night because we were doing our food thing.
Yeah.
And he came up to me and he said that. He says, you used to be such a dick to me sometimes. He's like, it was the best thing you ever did. He's like, everything I have, I can say that you had involvement in it.
Oh, that's very. very
Yeah, he's like, because you were, he didn't really have a father figure,
Yeah, and he was still a really good.
Yeah, and he's 15 years younger than me.
Wow. How old is
You know
he?
what? I think that
What's
is.
that?
How old was he compared to you, I guess?
Oh, back
15?
then? Yeah, I mean, he was 15 years younger. He was like 15, 16, 17.
You know, if he said everything he has is at least partly owed to you, tell him, give me 15%. You little shit.
Cut me a fucking check.
Hey, come on. That's not the
exactly.
parenting we're going through.
No.
here.
Exactly.
Cody's the best.
We're gonna reverse that shit.
He's got like a
at the
little,
same time.
he's got a little like miniature farm,
Okay.
and he's got cows and stuff. And I'm always like,
Ah.
let's cook one of them up. He's like, I can't cook one of them. He's like, they're my pets.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Once you name it, you're done.
I
right?
know.
Once you name it,
Is
you're
he using
done.
them for dairy at least?
Yeah, once you name it, you're done. What about? Are you still? I mean, from time to time, Junior. I mean, you guys still?
I don't see him that much. I work on his vehicles when he's around.
Okay.
But no, we never hang out on a basis where we're like, going out to dinner or anything.
Just communicating.
He's got young kids now. I'm
Yeah,
kind of out of the young kid
stage, that
Yeah,
kind of a
just
thing.
the one,
Sure.
right? He's busy.
Yeah. I
Okay,
understand.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vin's busy drinking cocktails with my cousin Shawnee.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was just with Shawnee this weekend.
He's a lush now.
Oh,
But he can handle it, right?
I love him.
Oh, he's the best.
We've been hanging out a lot lately.
He's the sweetest guy in the world.
He is.
If you think of one of the three sweetest people I've ever met.
Yeah. He was. We just camped up in Whining Hills, and we had like a little get together with Joe Algarin and his wife and Shawnee and his wife. And we just cook and eat and hang out and
You bring campers
Drink.
or tents?
campers. I don't tent.
Well, you know what?
No.
I used to tent when before kids.
Yeah.
We
There's an end to that one.
We
At
have
some point, yeah.
we have a thing we may be doing at the waterfront.
Camping?
Jet set. doing some kind of a cook-off, Mike and I.
Oh, we could use it.
So we'd like to maybe get you involved on that.
Listen,
And there's
I
going to
would
be in
love
the
Yeah.
in maybe
if you asked me to do
mid-September.
that or go do something with bikes, I'd be like, you kick them bikes over.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not.
But you know what? We all got.
You're not
we
gonna
all.
have fun with those damn bikes.
No.
You're gonna have fun with us.
I will have
You know what? It's
you know, my
Those
dream,
bikes are no
my
fun.
dream would
Okay.
be, because I'm a big foodie and I love to watch food shows.
same here.
That's the only thing I watch.
I love
Right,
to
right.
watch.
Man,
watch
to-
Chopped, Devil's Kitchen.
You know who got me? Anthony Bourdain.
oh yeah.
When
Yeah.
he
when he goes around, he used to go around everywhere and
No, the
experience.
fact that guy thought had the life. He had such a great life,
He
you
can
know.
talk
All
about
he did was
brains.
go in.
You know what
and
my
eat.
dream is? When I like wish I could be like on Iron Chef.
Oh,
one of the judges.
Okay. Yeah,
To
yeah.
see them guys cook
can see
the
that.
way they do and
All right.
taste that food,
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah.
like just Jeffrey Zakarian and all them guys.
And
They're
you're
just-
getting paid to do it.
yeah. Ramsey's one of my favorite.
So
too.
I'm going to put you
I'm
on.
telling you, he's inspired me more than anyone else.
Yeah.
See, I
His
like
cooking
Ramsey,
or his
but he
attitude?
sometimes can come off
Maybe.
like a
Oh, he
dick.
can.
He can, yeah.
He
He
come
can.
like
That's
a
like the
big
Simon Cowell thing, right?
dick.
Yeah.
You know?
He can, but he is good.
Yeah.
And when he's judging people,
When he's on, he's on.
he,
yeah.
he is.
All
But
right.
you know, people need that to get good.
Well, that's true.
You
That's
do.
true.
You know, you can't sugarcoat it. Can't have thin skin.
You're right. So
You know?
we got possibly mid-September. Mike and I were supposed to go down there. Jet Set is a new restaurant open up at the waterfront. We'd like to invite you and to be part of that. And we're going to be trying to figure out what we're cooking, and then people are going to be tasting the food. It's sort of a challenge. We're going to throw you into the mix because I'll be making a dish, he'll be making it, and then we all sort of there'll be some
Somebody needs to help
objective.
her.
This is the
Something
most
like that,
exciting
because
news I've heard. yet.
Yes.
I'll
Are
be
you cool with
honest
that?
with you.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll be honest
Hell
with you,
to
I was
the
up to
yes?
the challenge, but I'm a shit cook.
Oh,
No,
He's
you're not.
substantially better
No,
cook than
no.
Mike used to occasionally just bring me over stuff. He'd be like, I just cooked this up here. Take some.
He cooks a mean meatloaf, to be honest with you.
That's
And you
the
know-
stuff where he shines.
Yeah.
Yeah, home
You know,
cooking.
I like high-end meats, high-end fishes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. High-end
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like traditional.
Yeah, you like
Monday through
you like
Friday.
you like comfort food,
Yeah,
You know what your meatloaf?
some
Your
chicken
meatloaf,
cutlets, you know what I mean?
which
Your
I
meat-
like it
meatloaf.
too, but I don't specialize in that.
I feel you.
but your meatloaf ingredient was what? You remember what you put in the meatloaf that I thought was sort of pretty cool? He put
Oh, Chex.
Chex Mix.
That's
Right.
right.
Those graham crackers.
Chex cereal.
Chex Mix. I was like,
Chex
and
cereal.
it brought the texture to, yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah, it's
really
got to
did.
be corn too, not the wheat. The wheat works
Really?
too, but it gets a weird texture to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I gotta
think we-
say, I probably made meatloaf once or twice when I'm like low carb and I'll do something like that. You know,
So you are high. You're cooking the high end. I mean, you're.
I do.
Okay.
You know, I used to. You know, if I buy meat, I used to buy the cheaper cuts.
Yep.
Now I'll rather have less with more quality.
That's fair enough.
I would.
It shows up.
We go to Newport,
Right.
Rhode Island a lot. I don't know if you've ever been
Oh,
to
yeah.
Newport.
I have.
Sure.
Love
Beautiful.
it.
Beautiful.
Love it.
To me,
I used to
one of
smoke
the
'em.
best places I've ever ate in my life. I love New England food.
Yeah.
I love shellfish. I love oysters, all that stuff. The food there is, to
Off the
me,
hook.
Go to Maine.
I do.
I've been
agree.
to Maine.
Go to Maine. Go
Love
to,
Maine.
go to like Kennebunk or Freeport.
Yeah.
Newport,
He and I
Rhode
went
Island.
to Kenny
Delicious.
Bunkport, didn't we, or no?
No, I never went to
My family and I used to vacation. and it was like the one place in Maine.
No, I didn't.
That was another
I've
Vinnie
only been
DiMartino.
to Portland, Maine,
Portland's good,
and what's Old Orchard Beach,
Yeah.
which I had the best lobster roll I ever had in Old Orchard Beach.
You
Really?
can't. I mean, lobster roll. If you do it right, I mean, cool.
Can't get
We
much better
camped
than
there.
Maine,
We camped there in Maine. It's funny. We were out. I'm getting gas at the gas station. You could buy freaking lobster.
Really?
Yeah.
A lobster roll or like?
No, just no live lobster. No,
Actual
live lobster
lobsters.
for sale.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep.
Really?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just everywhere you go. And you know me, I'm a lobster nut.
Yeah.
I love really good fish. I love saltwater fish. You know, I love swimming in fresh water.
Love
eat the
this guy.
saltwater fish.
Love this guy because you know what? There's nothing that I love more than seafood.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
seafood.
That's what I
Love
get
it.
when I go out to eat.
Yeah.
I don't get steak. I could cook a mean steak. I don't go out and get steak.
Later.
I go out and get the best seafood I can get.
Give me a seafood tower anytime at a nice restaurant.
All right.
Go ahead.
Any more comments? Any more questions? Last minute questions here.
I think to be quite, I mean, we
Anything
just
else
want
you
to
wanna
thank.
plug?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wanna plug?
anything.
What's your?
Yeah.
Do you have a DiMartino Custom Collisions Motorsports and Automotive, or you have a website or a?
I do at DiMartinoMotorsports.com.
Okay.
DiMartino Industries.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to plug my family.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
We spend a lot of time cooking. My daughter Vanessa, who grew up on the show, she was a pretty big part. Remember when you babysat her?
That's a cute episode.
She was the cutest.
I know.
little
She's
kid.
in college now. She's a junior in college.
She's still kind of
Time
cute, like a
flies.
cute
She is.
kid. You know?
She's still got the same cheeks and same smile, and she's so cute.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like you. I don't
She
think
won't
you
be
guys
embarrassed.
like if you have the DiMartino genetics ever lose that like baby face smile.
Yeah, Vin, I've always thought you have cute cheeks. Really.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
He does. Look at him.
And I got my twins, Ava and Bella. Bella works with me,
Yep.
and Ava, she works at a food place. But so I mean, we're like, they still live home, you know, best friends. And I got Vince.
How old's Vince now?
Vince is 13.
Oh,
13. He's
that's
your
easy.
youngest.
Teenager,
Yeah.
finally for him.
Yeah, he's a master.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything he does, he wants to perfect.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
like
he's
you.
like, you got to see him on a unicycle.
Oh
This
yeah.
kid's amazing.
get him a guitar.
He was on one of them ones with the seats way up there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
he did
about 5
Montgomery
feet up.
Day. Okay,
Did
unicycle's tough. Not only is it
No,
tough,
it
it's
is.
very you
I
use a
don't.
lot of energy.
I couldn't even think about
It's
right
a lot
now.
of core.
I unicycle.
It's a lot
No
of core.
fucking
It's a
way.
lot of
He
distance.
I'd be
unicycle.
right there in my face.
That
on the-
teeter
on the
point
ground.
and
the
the
whole
course, right?
parade. The
Yeah.
whole parade at Montgomery Day, he circled our float.
How do you
Really?
not just? How do you not fall on your
I
face
know.
on that damn thing?
What's your
he's
what's your
God
float? I
bless.
work with the firefighters now, but where are you?
We did Heather's childcare, which
Okay,
was
yeah.
my wife used to work there. So
I
every
went
year
there.
I did a float with
Yeah.
them.
That's
That's
cute.
awesome.
Yeah. So
we can look forward
Yeah, anything you have?
well, hopefully, I mean, I'll have some more stuff coming up. I got to start hitting my YouTube some more.
We'll talk. We'll get that going for sure.
Can we look forward to having you on the show again? We loved having you today.
It was
I
great.
mean, this is
Listen,
awesome.
anytime you want me here, this is great.
Wonderful.
Anytime I could
That is awesome.
bullshit with you guys and see this guy.
I know. He is the man. I
It's
got you.
mutual, baby.
I got you.
I love this freaking guy. We'll
Warming
save
my
some. We'll
hands
save
here.
some
Warming
more for
my
next
hands.
time.
Yeah, there
But
we
yeah,
go.
I'd like to definitely do my my TikTok, my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube more. Now I do a lot of how tos on YouTube.
Oh,
Just
they get a lot of hits.
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah, I did a tranny service on my daughter's Lexus, which is basically a Lexus Toyota. Same thing, tranny. So I get more hits on that. I get customers coming to me for that.
You know how many of those videos are like out of the gate? The people either don't know how to record something or they're really dumb.
Oh, those are the worst.
You know what I mean? So if you know what you're doing, which you do, and you have your head around recording, or production a little bit, yeah, you probably take the lead on that stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more to come. And you know what? I'm just thrilled that we had the opportunity to have you here on the Mikey Now podcast today, and gave us such an insight as to, background and whatnot. And just can't wait to have you on again.
Yeah.
I mean, it flowed. It's just, you guys are just easy.
It felt really awkward.
Yeah.
having
Yeah, it
him
was
on.
Shut the fuck up. It didn't feel
I
awkward.
don't want him on again.
All right, fuck.
As per usual,
You
thank
didn't
you for
hear that,
joining
did you?
us here on the Mikey Now podcast. You can find us on any social media at Mikey N A-L Ow podcast. Once again, that's at Mikey N Ow podcast. If you have any questions for Vin or Mikey or Al or for some reason me, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you.
Also, can we get a applause for having Vinnie DiMartino?
Yes. Vinny. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Great
Goodbye.
fucking job having you.
Bye.